Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for coming out to join us. We are the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs Mastermind Group. My name is Rachel Kelly, and I'm here with my amazing Fearless Online Entrepreneur partners. We are here to empower, encourage, educate, and train you to step into your greatness, compelling you to take action that's needed in order for you to propel forward in your business. If you would like to connect with us, you can find us over on Facebook. Join our group, the Fearless Online Entrepreneurs. We would be glad to help you propel forward and get you to where you are desiring to go. Today, we're going to be talking about how to find a great accountability partner and the ways that you want to go about doing that. So today, I am excited about introducing my two amazing friends and partners in business, and that is Diane Klein and Jody Malley. So what we're going to do is we're going to move out of the way so that they can bring us all of the awesome content that they have to share with us today. So without further ado, Jody and Diane, please come out, introduce yourselves, and you can have the floor, my friends.
Awesome. Thank you. As Rachel said, my name is Jody Maley. I live in central BC, Canada, and Diane and I joined the same business probably around the same time, and we joined forces as accountability partners. And I want to point out that being business partners, we're not even, we're on the same team, but by helping each other, we're not, I don't know, how do you say that? You say, Diane. You're good at explaining that.
We're both individual businesses for ourselves, but
Right.
we help each other on as we push each other in our accountability.
Yeah. So we're each.
I introduce myself.
Yep. Introduce.
I'm Diane Klein, and I'm in beautiful Calgary, Alberta, Canada as well. And yes, we are in the same business together. And like we said, we have our own businesses, but we actually met up during some kind of a challenge where our sponsors challenged us to find ourselves an accountability partner at the next level in our business.
Oh, sorry, I thought I muted myself. Hacking up a lung over here. Okay, yeah, we got together, and we're both just going to give some tips. So if you have a pen and paper handy, we're just going to kind of go back and forth here saying what both of us have learned and what we've done together. So the number one thing that helped us when we joined forces as accountability partners is the fact that we actually have a lot in common. We're both Canadian. We're close to the same time zone. I'm Pacific and Diane's Central, so we're about an hour difference. And I've had other accountability partners. The reason I say that is because I've had other accountability partners whose time zones were so different from mine. It sometimes was tedious trying to get together, you know, connecting one-on-one.
When my first point here as well is that when we first met up, I found that because of our because we clicked so easily. When I had weaknesses, Jody had the strengths that I needed to move forward on that point. So whenever she had weaknesses, I'd find strengths. So when we mastermind, we find that out early on, and we actually grew from that, and we encouraged each other from that.
And my next point is that, you know, Diane really, really wanted to meet and connect in person. And I'll be honest, at first I was uncomfortable with that. So I was like, oh, she keeps asking me to Skype. So I'm like, and thank goodness that I have an accountability partner who part of her strengths is that she's persistent. She's a very, very persistent person. And you know, once it was like, oh, she does really want to hang out and stuff. So we Skyped, and then that's where we got to meet each other more in person and find out our strengths. And I just want to say I do appreciate, Diane, that you pushed me to always want to meet in person. And now I'd say we probably meet at least Skype, if not daily, every other day for sure.
And I wanted to point out here too that talking and connecting daily is a very, very inspiring, and it's also very motivating for you as a person, because it helps you to get your stuff done during the day. And when you talk about something and you're stuck with something, then you can talk about it and mastermind and get another person's opinion. Whereas if you talk to somebody like your spouse who's not in the business with you, they can't give you the pointers that you need. But if you have an accountability partner and you talk and connect daily and you somehow are in touch, then you're not afraid to say, oh, I'm stuck with this. Do you think you can help me?
Yeah. And sometimes when I do speak to my husband, he's like, talking Greek. I'm like, it's not Greek. It's called talking geek. Get it straight. Anyways, my third point, so I guess this is point number 5 or 6 here. We have both, what we found out that we also had in common is that we both had failed in other businesses, and even in fact in one business that we were both part of, but we didn't know each other then. And we both decided that the business that we're doing together right now is something that we really, really, really want. So that was another thing that we had in common, that we were ready to make, you know, our lives and our families' lives different, and we really, really want it. So it's important that when you are searching with an accountability partner, that they have that same desire as you, because either one person will want it and the other one won't. But if you don't have that same desire with the other person, I don't think you'll get as good results.
Yes, for sure. And I find my third point here too is that we push and challenge each other. So piggybacking on what Jody is saying there, if we don't both have the desire to push each other and to give each other challenges, then it's just not there. The connection and the spark is not there. Like in the beginning, I remember on my first hangout, I panicked and messaged Jody, and I'm like, Keisha wants me to come on and hang out. I'm not ready. And she said, well, why not? So she put me on the spot, and I felt really challenged, and I felt like, well, why am I not going? There's no reason why I'm just sitting here in my little comfort zone. I need to step out of my comfort zone and show people who I am or what I have to offer.
Yeah, and I remember that hangout too, because I kind of took the accountability partner stand where I actually texted her and said, you know what, I am not your friend right now. I am your accountability partner, and, you know, we talk about being leaders together. This is part of it. So if you don't do this now, you're not going to move forward in leadership. So get on the call. And she wrestled with it. She probably had, you know, if I was in the same spot, you know, you have all of those emotions of I can't do it, and probably tears and that kind of stuff all go up for you. But then when she made the decision to do it, and then she texted me and she's like, I'm on. So that was really, really cool. You know, there's times when you need to be friends. There's times when you need to be that accountability partner and actually push the other person. And the fourth point that I have is that we really celebrate our wins. So it doesn't matter if it's a lead. It doesn't matter if it's a new sign-up. It doesn't matter if it's even selling something on eBay, the company that we're doing together. We tell each other right away, and we both celebrate that. In fact, I think when we both had our first sign-ups, we did a Skype together to cheer each other on, because we needed to hear each other, and we were both so excited because the stuff we were doing that week, it worked, and we both had sign-ups. So that was really, really exciting.
Yes, for sure. That was fun to share it. My fourth point here is we're willing to share what works for us. So when we try something and we do some kind of a training and it works for us, and we do make what we have to, let's say we're trying to get some more leads, or we're trying to get more people into our team or on our group. If it works for us, we share it with each other and experiment more. And we even, like, I can have different idea from what Jody has, and we can even make it better with each other. So.
Yeah. And then I had a similar one. This must be the one that we both wrote out. but I'll piggyback on that because we try the different strategies and share, and sometimes stuff doesn't work for you. So what we will be with each other is, that didn't work. What other things are we going to use? And then let's use that strategy and move on. That's the other thing too, I think, for both of us, is when a strategy doesn't work for one or the other, we don't beat it to death. We just let that strategy go, and what's the new one?
And the next one is, we're not scared to take risks and to step out of our comfort zone. Like if something comes up and our leaders will say, well, go do this and that, or do this on Twitter, or do that, we're not scared to go ahead, do the training, and do it. We don't just sit on it, we actually do the training and do it, and we push each other again to get out of our comfort zone and to say, okay, we got to get on with this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Quite often, too, we'll even on Facebook, and to begin with, like I have the mushy migraine brain, so a lot of times if I don't write it down, I forget stuff. And it is a really good reminder that about 5 or 10 minutes before a call, or even right when the hangout is happening, one or the other of us will be, are you on? Which means, hey, there's some kind of training, are you here? And the point I want to make is that we're really willing to listen to our leaders and do exactly what they say. And our leadership, when they say, be on the training, we hold each other accountable for being there on that training. And there's been a lot of times either I've been on it where I've said to Diane, are you on? And she's like, I forgot, because she got busy maybe doing something. And same thing with me. Maybe I hadn't written it down or whatever. And we do exactly what the leaders say. So when they have those hangouts, we're either talking to each other on Facebook, but quite often after the leaders will tell us what to do, quite often we'll have our own Skype hangout after a leadership call or a leadership training, and we will say, okay, this is what I took from it, and this is what I'm going to put into action. So that's the other thing too, is that, and maybe our action steps aren't the same one, but that's okay. I think we've both mutually agreed every time that there's training or a hangout, we are accountable to each other after the call and say, this is what I'm going to put to use, either, sometimes it's late for us, but either that night or the next morning. And once we commit to doing that new thing, we check each other out again. So that's the other thing too that you really need with an accountability partner, is you take the action steps, but then you check back in with the person. And quite often Diane said to me, okay, you had that strategy last night, did you do it? And I'll say the same thing. So that's the other thing with having an accountability partner is, they'll ask you why you didn't do it. And sometimes we haven't done stuff because it was fear-based. And we'll even discuss that. Well, what's the fear holding you back in that? And so we'll even help each other push past the fears and do exactly what the leaders say.
Yeah. And then because we are holding each other responsible to do the work list that we have told each other that we're going to do daily, I find that I do my work so much more. Like even on my days off, like when I have off days, I just do it because I know Jody expects me to do it. So it keeps me more responsible and more on top of my game because I do it. And once I'm done, I feel good about having done it as well. So it just keeps you more accountable to yourself and to your business if you have an accountable partner that clicks with you.
Yeah, and my next point is the same, kind of piggybacking off of that. We do push each other more because of what the other person may say. So like earlier when Diane said that she was, can I say chicken shit? To get on that call because it was a really big live hangout, and it scared her, right? As well, everybody, when you try something new and over 1,500 people are listening to you, yeah, you get a little bit of a fear put into you. And then 2 weeks later, Rachel, our leader, said, okay, now you're getting on this hangout. And it was actually Easter Sunday when I did that. I think it was the Monday night call. And I was so ill from stuffing myself with chocolate. I really, really did not feel well. So, of course, all my excuses were coming up, right? And I thought, if I don't do this, especially after I gave Diane, crap the other week for getting on there and what I said to her, my own words echoed in my head. And I thought, I have to do this, because if I don't do this, and I thought, well, maybe she won't find out. I had all these weird things going on in my head, like, well, maybe she won't find out. And I'm like, but if she finds out, and I pushed her to go on. So I went ahead and did the call anyways, not feeling 100%, but that was okay. And, that's what having a real accountability partner will do for you, because, I didn't want to disappoint her and have that talk of why I didn't do something as well.
Okay, so I'm on number 7. We are both very ready to chat with each other when we started out being accountable partners with like-minded people, because we both knew we were ready for this business to work for us, and we both have husbands who are not as active in our business with us. So it's sometimes hard to communicate with the husbands and let them know what's happening and keep them up to date, because they don't understand and they're not on all the trainings that we're on. So for us, it was so great to meet up with somebody and to chat with somebody who was in the same mindset, who was in the same business position as we were. And we can talk to each other and help each other in that part.
And my next point, I don't know which one. This is my 8th, so maybe this is point number 15. Not only do we celebrate the wins, but we share the sorrows. And that, again, is really, really key with having an accountability partner, because we do have days that just go down the drain. We both have had some people on our team opt to go off of our team. We both have had returns on sales or difficult customers, or days where we felt like quitting. So those are some of the sorrows, but I want to point out that when we would share the sorrow with the other person of a challenge that had come up for either one of us, we allow each other to vent, but we don't keep it in a negative. I think that on every single call where I'm like, you know what, I had somebody cancel her thing, and I said, I spent more time helping this woman get out of the system than the time it took me to put her into the system. And I shared that with Diane, and I was like, but you know what, something better, we have that thing, oh well, next. And it was the very next day that I actually had my first day where I had 2 people sign up. So, share your sorrows, but always have a game plan at the end of sharing that challenge as to what you're going to do, how you're going to move on. And we really don't go on for hours and hours and hours about our sorrows either.
And I have my last one here is we remind each other to stay on task, and we really encourage each other to stay on top of our game, because if we keep each other on top of our games, we know we ourselves will keep on top of our game if we encourage the other person to do that. And I think for Jody and myself, we really appreciate each other. Like, we really show our appreciation for each other, and that's why it's been going so well for us, is because we show our appreciation and we do share a lot of things. And I feel like she's become my best friend, and I really, really do love you, Jody, and I thank you so much for what you've done for me so far. So that's everything I have written down here.
Hey, grab a Kleenex. Emotional. That's always good. But yes, that's true. I think that in the last couple of months, we've gotten to know each other way more past a business relationship too. Sometimes as being moms, and we have kids around the same age and stuff, we'll even share struggles, family struggles that we've had with our children even, and both of us have had, oh, that's a great idea, I'll use that. What was it today? Oh, your little guy, he has a cough right now. I'm like, put Vicks on his feet. Oh, never would have thought of that. So we do share with each other, and it's more on a personable basis now because we've gotten to know each other so well. Sorry. And I appreciate you too, my friend. Okay. And just like she said, we do remind each other to stay on those tasks too. So especially at the beginning when you're forming a new partnership, making sure that you each stay on those outlined tasks of what you want to get done. It is really important, and we both know that in what time of the day that we're doing stuff. And I know with Diane, Diane wasn't really a list person, like writing out exactly what her day is going to look like and stuff. And I kept bugging her. I'm like, I got mine on my wall. Like, and I took a photo of it and said, hey, here's the task done, because we needed to write out what we were doing. And I kind of kept bugging her about it. I'm like, where's yours? And every day I'd ask, where's yours? And I don't know how long it took you to do that one task, but she finally wrote it out on a piece of paper, put it beside her printer, and then, or beside her computer, and now she took a picture of it. Here, I'm done. Back to you.
Okay, what are we going to do a Q&A, or do you ladies have any questions? Are we done?
Are any other points that you want to point out, Di, that we think we covered a lot?
Oh, actually, I guess I just wanted to say that because of our relationship and our accountability to each other, we are able to build our own teams and to help them much more because of what we're learning from each other and how we're training and teaching each other as well. So it just kind of it comes over into that part of it too, our business.
Yeah, even being part of this daily hangout, we discuss that. We discuss everything. But sometimes we realize, because we have two different leaders, that we have commitments with one leader, and I have commitments with my own leader. But even joining this hangout, we discussed it, and we said, well, we should do this, and we should learn how to lead them, because we're training ourselves for our own team. And by not stepping out here and being, on a Google Hangout a lot and being comfortable with it, we're making ourselves more comfortable leaders as well.
For sure, yeah.
All right, so if anybody would like to unmute and ask any questions, go ahead. We can't hear you, Rachel. Oh.
Okay, that was actually, I was talking to Nate, but now I'm talking to you. Okay, when I think back, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we were all getting ready to do a 90-day challenge. I think it was the beginning of the year. Is that how you guys originally ended up together?
Yep.
Which is pretty awesome. So how, when you do challenges, this is a really good time, it sounds like. You guys took advantage of the opportunity, because a lot of times in your teams or in your business or your groups, the word accountability partners we put out there, and so you two just kind of connected. It makes me think about the law of attraction, and how you're both in Canada. And I remember, I think that when you guys were doing your listings, and you asked Jody maybe a question about Canada, and I think Diane is in Canada. So I kept trying to match you up with somebody who was in Canada, so that, because you know more. I mean, Diane would know more about Canada than I would. So it's kind of like, I thought that was pretty interesting, and I love how you all, the two of you, really, really appreciate one another. I see it. I see it when you come here at the Hangouts. I see how you. I mean, I've never seen accountability partners like you two. I really, really have not. I mean, exceptional. And so when you guys started hanging out here, I'm like, I'm going to have them do a training on being accountability partners, because I think this is really important. A lot of people don't really understand really, what do you do? So my question to you is going to be, one is, how do you control the conversation? How do you, I know you say you keep it, maybe you may have had a bad day. How do you take that bad day? Like, what would that look like? If someone was having, one of you were having a bad day, what would that, give us an example of what that would look like?
Well, I'll say one time we both had a bad week. It wasn't even a day. We both had a bad week, and to be honest, we didn't even connect with each other for most of that week. And I think for myself, it kind of went up, oh, here's some bells. I'm not feeling all that well. I had a rough week with a headache and then some family issues and stuff like that. And so I remember texting Diane and saying, I've had a really crappy week. And I don't know kind of how to get out of this funk. And the thing was, she was actually going through the exact same thing. So she texted me back, yeah, me too. So in that instance, we decided to Skype. And you can tell them what we decided to do from there.
I think we just decided we let each other, what we kind of do is we let each other rant. And that's important sometimes to get it out, because if you keep it in, then it just builds up. So we just did that. We said what we had to say, and then we said, okay, now let's let it go and move on. We can't just sit there and dwell on our things. We just have to say, okay, well, let's start this week better. Let's start all over. Let's do this,
And it actually came out of something that was with the challenge, and it was actually really, really, really good training. It was about YouTube, and both of us got so overwhelmed with the new training that we did nothing, either one of us, for almost a week. And then that's where we both were like, wow. And then we decided, okay, we need to do, because we both like doing our own YouTubes every day. That was part of the 90-day challenge from the beginning. And so from that conversation, we went, okay, let's keep doing our YouTubes like we were doing, but what we're going to do is each of us are going to implement something from that training that we can add to it to get us back in motion and get motivated. And then for, I would say, the next 3 days, we Skyped a lot.
Yeah.
We got each other through those points, and then it was like, what's going to make us money, which is listing, and neither one of us had even listed a single item that week too. Like that's how bad sometimes overwhelmment can get for people. But by having that accountability partner, it helped me that I don't think I would have quit, but I would think that other people in that situation would have given up and quit right on the spot if they didn't have an accountability partner, because they got, we both got frozen in fear for a while.
Okay, awesome. So, sometimes realizing that sometimes we will have setbacks, but what you all decided was, after a week, it's kind of like, this is why your why is so important.
Yeah.
When you have a why, even regardless of how bad you feel or how bad things get, you still get back on track because of your why. So that was really a great point. Another question.
I want to add, just before you go on there, we weren't each other's first accountability partners either. So for whatever reason, my partner, we sent emails to each other maybe once or twice, and then she fell off the face of the planet in some big, deep, dark, vast chasm. I don't know where she went. So she just, I can't even see her or find her anymore on Facebook. But Diane had a partner before too that didn't work. So I think when we first started, we were like, you know what? Our previous accountability partner didn't work for us. What can we do different?
Awesome. And I think a lot of people have that experience. Their first accountability partner does not work, and some people just kind of give up. They just say it don't work. But I really, really believe it's all about attraction, and it sounds like you two are really attracted to one another, which is really, I just love it. When I see you two, I just see all this, energy going. So cool. Now, do you guys have a checklist? So, like, when you come together, like, do you have like a certain time of day that you come together every day, or is it just sporadic? And when you do come together, do you have a checklist?
Yes. when we first started, I think, how many times did we Skype, Di? Probably every day.
Yeah.
So every day we Skyped, and we did go over a checklist, and we decided, the biggest thing in our business is to make money and bring our husbands both home. We want to, both of us, we're very passionate about having our husbands quit their jobs and just be at home with us. And to do that, yeah, you do need a strategy. So we held each other accountable for the two things that would make us money, which is listing items and signing people up.
Okay.
Advertising.
Okay. And so what does that checklist look like? Does it take, like, so what would you say? Like every day you get on the phone, or when you get on Skype, you would say, did you list your items today? How would that look or sound?
Yes, I check in with her to see if she got her daily dues done, and she checks in with me to see if I got my daily dues done.
Okay. And do you all do that the same time every day, or is it different times of the day?
To begin with, we set a morning time. We weren't part of these Google Hangouts, so we would set a morning time just after my kids went to school, which would be around, about 8 for me and 9 for her.
Yeah.
So we would set a time to, this is what we want to get done today, and we'd commit to each other. And by committing to each other that we were going to do those tasks, you're really committing to yourself. Because, for as much as we can talk to each other, if one or the other of us isn't taking action, then you're not going to get any of your daily dues. What do you do? Done.
Awesome. Okay. My last question is, and then I'll move out of the way and see if anyone else has any questions. But of course, you see I have quite a few of them because I think these are things that people struggle with. How long does your accountability conversations, how long do you stay connected? Is it, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour? How long do you recommend that accountability partners stay on the phone or on Skype for your checking in?
Until Skype kicks you off. No.
Oh, no. That's scary.
I don't know. We're still by the seat of our pants. Sometimes 5 minutes. We've been on for more than half an hour sometimes.
Yeah. I guess it depends on what the task and the challenge might be that we're both facing. But a lot of times it can even just be 5 minutes. Let's Skype. We'll Skype even for like 5 minutes. Check in with each other. Okay, that's a good strategy. Let's both, get our listings to the max or something. And the other thing too is that we do encourage each other to go outside of our comfort zone. So when I know that we had a video challenge and Diane's computer wasn't really working at the time, but the challenge was like 20 videos, and I think I did almost 60. And so we do push each other to that higher, probably more than I would do by myself, is what I'd say. And sometimes where there was an issue, I can't remember what it was, something with YouTube, and Keisha, one of our other leaders, had done this thing, and I totally did not get it. And I know that Diane was busy because we both had challenges from both you, Rachel, and from Keisha that we had deadlines to do something. But I just appreciate that Diane was just like, you know what, let's Skype. You can see what I do. And so she kind of showed me exactly what to do on the YouTube, like, click here. So that maybe took a little bit extra time on that particular thing. But if there's something that we don't get that might get us into that fear, because that's usually what it is. It's always something that we're fearful about. Something that will hold us back and get us into overwhelmed state. We're pretty good about saying that to the other person, and whether it takes 5 minutes or even half an hour, we've committed to what do we need to do right now to get both of us past whatever that challenge is.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What
Wow.
is it I can do to help you to get through what you're going through so that we can just move on?
And now we Skype, if not every day, for sure every other day. We don't have a set time anymore because of this morning hangout, but there's quite often, I don't know, even later in the evening on Facebook, are you on? Okay, what do you need? and that's for both of us. So there'll be something that either one of us, like I said, probably at the beginning where we have a similar time zone, I think that is really, really key with an accountability partner. It is very hard to work with someone whose time zone is so far ahead of yours or behind. Because I had an accountability partner once in Hawaii, and it was really, really hard to connect because she's 6 hours behind me. So.
Wow. Oh, wow. You ladies have given us so many great tips. And something that you mentioned early on was about ranting, or, you come when you have problems, and the crucial portion to your solution was, it's okay. My favorite saying is, okay to cry, just don't stay there. And a lot of times what happens, even in accountability partner situations, people cry and they stay there, and so they never accomplish anything, and so therefore your accountability connections are no longer productive. So therefore you begin to feel like, what's the purpose of having one? So I think that, that point that you made about making sure that even if you have those rough times, to push it past that. You see one or the two of you in a negative place, bring that out. It's really important to push past that so that you can go ahead and again go for your why. Not the last thing, but something that Diane said that really made me think. She said, "What is it that I can do to help you get through your challenge?" So as you're talking to your accountability partner, and you see the rant going, you see, them not really having a good day, you can say, what is it I can do to help you get through your challenge? And that's actually, it's a nice way to tell them, okay, come on, let's get to bringing this positive. And then maybe there is something you can do. Maybe like Jody was mentioning, maybe there's a fear that you're facing. Maybe there's something that you're afraid of, and you just need someone just to kind of motivate you and say, okay, you can do this. And then maybe they have the answer. Like yesterday, Jody, I signed up for the Top Link program. I'm like, what is this download stuff? And I tried to upload. You guys know me. I don't do the technical stuff, but I will give it a try. And so I said, okay, I'm going to contact Jody and have her explain to me, because otherwise they'll just be getting my money, because I'm not going to waste a lot of time on something. That's just me. I'm not going to waste a lot of time on it. And I'm going to contact, one of my partners, one of my friends, and say, hey, okay, is there a simple way to do this? And if it's difficult, then it's time to outsource it. So, hey, anyone else on the panel have any questions for Jody and Diane? Because I just feel like I've asked a lot, and I want to give you all an opportunity to ask your questions as well. Sharon or Paula. Hey, Paula is back. We got to hear about Bob Proctor.
I want to point something there too that people should be aware of. Our challenges or our talk on that is probably, I would say, maybe 10% of our conversation. We actually connect a lot more on celebrating the wins, deciding what we're going to do for money activities, what's working and what's not working. And I know Diane will agree with this, in the whole time that we've been together, I'd probably only say 10% of it has been facing challenges, facing fears and stuff. So if you're looking at that into a perspective, you want to be with an accountability partner that 90% of it should be both of you working towards a similar goal and being positive about it, and maybe those challenges should be 10%. I think that's why we're working so well together.
Okay. Hey, Diane or Jody, can you guys, in our Fearless Online Entrepreneurs Mastermind group, can you guys put the checklist inside of the group in the file section so that individuals that do come in to join our group, they will have access to that? So if anyone's interested in the checklist of the questions that they can ask one another, just so you can have a guideline, because a lot of times, people will say, well, I don't know really what I'm supposed to say to this accountability partner once I become an accountability partner. So if you kind of like checklist inside of the group, it would be great. Awesome. Okay, Paula or Sharon, do you all have any questions for Diane or Jody?
Well, good morning, ladies. I don't have a question, but I just want to say you ladies did an awesome job. And I just want to thank you for all the valuable information that you have given us. And I'm going through and reviewing my notes and trying to process everything. But I just want to say thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Paula, did you have any questions or anything that you wanted to share with Jody or Diane?
No questions, but first of all, I'm glad to be back. And Jody and Diane, you did an awesome job today. Thank you for the value that you've given. And I definitely will take into account what you've said here on today's Hangout. So great job.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And Paula is my accountability partner, so I think, Paula, we have some things.
We have some things to do. Yes.
Yeah, this is going to be good. I'm looking forward to it.
So am I.
And before we leave off, because you know what, I think this is a perfect opportunity. Anytime we can share some nuggets with other people to help them go forward, I say let's do it. So we know that Paula went to see Bob Proctor over the weekend, right? So we were really missing her. I'm like going crazy not having my accountability partner. And I just said today, I said I need to inbox her and find out where she's at, what's going on. And then you popped in here and I'm like, oh yes, I don't even have to send her a message to ask her that. So tell us, just if you can, take a minute and just kind of tell us your big, what was it, like anytime you go to an event or any type of seminar or anything, you should always go with the intentions of taking something away. So what was your big takeaway from the Bob Proctor event? I'm sorry for putting you on the spot, but you know me.
Oh my goodness. First and foremost of all, that event met every expectation that I ever had. It was the best, hands down, event that I've ever attended. My mind, I feel like I've had surgery on my mind. I'm so serious. I can't explain it. I mean, it was phenomenal. And the biggest takeaway that I got from the event is that just follow what he said to do. And that's what I plan on doing, is following every day what he told us to do at that event.
Okay.
And I'm looking for change. I'm expecting change.
Awesome, awesome. Now, when he said what you do, is it for like mindset purposes, or is it for your business? Or when you say, what you do, what area is that dealing with?
It's definitely dealing with your mindset, because if you don't have the right mindset, then your business is going nowhere. Mm-hmm. It's going nowhere fast. You can have all the technical know-how, you can have all of that, but if you do not have the correct mindset, you're not going anywhere, because you will always go back to that same paradigm that you are trying to come out of.
Wow. So you're telling us that you need to be coachable, right?
You definitely need to be coachable.
Coachable. Yeah. And listen to what he's saying.
Do exactly what your mentors tell you to do. Yes. Exactly.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, Paula, we know you're going to come out with some more nuggets. We don't want to pull them all out at once. So be prepared, because we want to hear that process and how it's going. Especially did you get a chance to shake his hand or talk to him, or
Oh, hold on. Can you guys see this?
Oh, yes. I see. You got a picture with Bob Proctor.
Yes.
I can see that on your profile. I can see you put that on your profile picture. Hey, that's a good idea, Paul. Think about it.
Yes. It was awesome. It was totally awesome. I met so many great people. It was unreal.
That is beautiful. Well, I'm looking forward to talking to you tonight during our accountability partner session. And Diane and Jody, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. We really, really do appreciate you bringing all of the great information that you have brought to us today. And I have a very unhappy little boy in the background, so please forgive me. With that being said, we just want to say thank you very much for each one of you coming out to hang out with us, and hopefully you found some value in this. Please like, comment, share, subscribe to our channel, subscribe if you're on our blog or Social 22, subscribe so that you can get all the updates that we have coming, because be ready, we have a lot of value coming your way. Take care, have a great day, and we will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, here at Fearless Online Entrepreneurs. Take care. Bye-bye.